It is with both pride and humility that I stand before you today on behalf of those Saban ancestors who came before me. In 1871, a false and degrading lie was first documented by a visiting journalist to Saba from a disgruntled former slave owner, more than likely bitter that he had not been better compensated by the Crown for the loss of his enslaved property. In his lie, he says, it was almost as if the slave owners who worked like slaves, and it was the former enslaved who should be indebted to them for their existence. This myth that slavery on Saba wasn't that bad since then became a persistent and pervasive narrative. And as you probably know, in small communities, falsehoods have a habit of becoming enduring realities. However, now we know different, and we are compelled to ask, if it wasn't that bad, then why? Why in 1862, in a barely known but extraordinary act of insolence, the enslaved disrupted a court hearing and forced the lieutenant governor to acquit a captain accused of illegally smuggling enslaved persons to islands where others like them were already emancipated. While righteous in its outcome, the verdict was delivered because he feared if he was to do anything different, the enslaved were at the cusp of a violent uprising, which he could not contain, and his calls for more armed policemen to colonial authorities on Curacao for years had gone unheeded. You see, the legacy of slavery is so bad, as I explained once in the second chamber, it would take an apology by the King and the Prime Minister, thank you, to bring awareness to Saba so we could share these invisible stories with you.